Hey guys, it's Mr. Harper Smith. I hope that you are enjoying this week. It's currently a Wednesday for me. When you watch this video, it might be a Friday, might be a Saturday, but for me it's Wednesday. It's a little hot outside here in San Antonio. Kind of wishing I was in Utah again. A couple of you have been having questions on synthetic division, and I thought I'd go through and do a couple examples for you. I'll be doing exact problems from Delta Math, so you might even get a question similar to what I'm about ready to do. So make sure to take a note or two, so that way it will help you when you go to do it on Delta Math. Okay, so when we are doing the, let me get a pencil going. Here we go. Is that going right? That's going right. Perfect. When we're doing it, the first thing we need to do, first thing we need to do is we need to find the zero. Okay, we need to find the zero. And the zero is all based on what we are dividing by. In this case, we are dividing by x minus 1. Now, the zero means what would make this 0? What value of x would make x minus 1 equal to 0? Well, x minus 1 equals 0. How would I get x by itself? I would add 1 to both sides. We get x equals 0 plus 1 is 1. So if x is 1, all of a sudden we are dividing by 0. Okay? So our 0 is 1. I'm going to write this off to the side here. Okay? That is 1. Now I need to look at my coefficients. All right? Now my first coefficient will be my x cubed. Then I'll have my x squared coefficient. Then I'll have my x coefficient, and then I'll have my constant coefficient. In this case, x cubed, the coefficient for x cubed is the number in front of x cubed. Is there a number in front of x cubed? There's not a visible number, but there is a 1, because it's not 0. So this is technically 1 x cubed, so 1, minus 11 x squared, plus 19 x minus 19. Okay? Now, from here, there's 2 steps. They just repeat over and over. You add going down. So 1 plus nothing is 1. And then you multiply going diagonally. Okay? So adding going down, multiplying going diagonally. So what do I multiply the 1 by? I'm going to multiply it by this one. So 1 times 1 is 1. Oh, I'll repeat it now. Add going down. What's negative 11 plus 1? It's negative 10. Then I multiply going diagonally. 1 times negative 10 is negative 10. All right. I add going down. That gives me positive 9. I multiply. 1 times 9 is 9. Then I add. That gives me negative 10. Now my answer is going to have a remainder of negative 10. And that's where this is coming in. The Rx over Bx, all that means is the final part of your answer is going to be negative 10 over whatever you're dividing by. In this case, x minus 1. Okay, so we have the 9. We'd have an x. Then we will have an x squared. We don't need to put the 1 on the x squared. So let's write in our answer. We've got x squared minus 10x plus 9. Then we are going to do minus 10 divided by, all I did was I hit the divide symbol and it turned it into a fraction. X minus 1. That should be the answer. I really hope that's the answer. If not, I'm going to feel kind of silly. We did it! Okay, awesome, awesome. That's all this Rx over Bx means, okay? And here you can see that's exactly what we did. The exact numbers I had over here are right here. Let's do one more. How do I get rid of my annotations? There we go. Well, maybe I'll get rid of my annotations. Maybe I'll just erase them all. There we go. I've got to do this a long way, I guess. Faster, faster. Ah! Somewhat therapeutic. At the same time, it causes great levels of stress in my body to build up. Okay, let's try another problem. So here's another one that we can do. Actually, let's see if there's a trickier one. Is there a trickier one? There's not. So we'll just go with that one. This one looks like fun. All right. So same thing. The first step that I'm going to do, step one is I'm going to find my 0. What number would make this 0? What number minus 5 is 0? You could go through and do this algebraically, or you can just do it in your head. What do you have to have that when you subtract 5, it gives you 0? Well, it's going to be 5. So our 0 is 5 in this case. Okay. All right, now I need to go through and put the constant, not constants. I can't remember the word right now. The numbers in front of the variables. Just left my head. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I failed you. Anyway, so we've got our x to the 4th, x cubed, x squared, our x, and then our nothings. And the x to the 4th has a 1. X cubed has a -1. Be careful with that negative right there. That is going to give us a -1. Then we have negative 19, negative 10, and finally 17. I realize these numbers are all getting off a little bit. All right, so here we go. The process is multiply, then add. Well, sorry, add, going down, then multiply, goes diagonally. So 1 plus nothing is 1, because we're going down. Now we're going diagonally. So 5 times 1 will give me 5. I add, that gives me 4. I multiply, and that gives me 20. I add, it gives me 1. I multiply, it gives me 5. I add, it gives me -5. I multiply, it gives me -25. All right, so 17 plus -25, you can use a calculator if you want, it's going to give you about -8. So my answer is -8 over x minus 5, so that's my remainder. If I got a 0 right here instead of a -8, then I wouldn't bother putting it over x minus 5. I would just leave it blank. This does not get an x. This one gets an x. This one gets an x squared. This one will get an x cubed. Now, if it's just a 1, I don't have to write the 1 in my final answer. If there's no symbol, I put a plus sign. All right, so here we go. X cubed plus 4x plus 1. No, don't have to put the 1 though. That one needs a squared. Minus 5 minus 8 divided by x minus 5. And that should work, hopefully. Woohoo! We did it. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so go to Delta Math, give it a try. This is synthetic division level 2. There's level 1 and 2. There's 5 questions from level 1, 2 questions from level 2. So you can do. There's the actual answer. How they do it, they did the same way I just did it. Okay. All right. Good luck, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I am more than happy to help you.